folks. I'd like to call the Penn Ridge School Board meeting to order. Please rise and salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Vanis Clemens?
Here.
Mr. Cormack?
Here.
Mrs. Cullen?
Here.
Mrs. Dolan?
Here.
Mr. Gerhart?
Here.
Mr. Kraus?
Here.
Mr. Rice?
Here.
Dr. Thompson?
Here.
Mrs. Walter?
Here.
Thank you. Moving on to public comment. There is no one signed up for public comment. Is there anyone that would like to make a public comment before we start? Okay. Moving on, President's report. I'm pleased to announce that we've reached a tentative 5-year agreement with the Penn Ridge Educational Support Professionals Association, which we will be voting under tonight on the Finance Committee. Next item, Mrs. Vanis Clemens and I attended a press conference at the Rock Hill Quarry arranged by Senator Sandacero and Congressman Fitzpatrick. Mrs. Vanis Clemens, Dr. Bolden, and Mr. Harper have been working with the Senator's office, Congressman Fitzpatrick's office, East Rock Hill Supervisors, and the Rock Hill Environmental Preservation Alliance to ensure the district is well informed of the ongoing activities involving the quarry. Anyone interested in more information about the quarry can visit the REPA website at rockhillpa.org. With that, I will turn it over to Dr. Bolton for the superintendent's report.
Mr. Krause, thank you. Good evening, everyone. We have lots of students in attendance tonight and a lot of good things and good news items to share. First, I'd like to start with the future farmers of America. Penn Ridge and the Upper Bucks County Technical School students were recognized recently at the 2020 Pennsylvania Farm Show. This evening, we'd like to recognize 3 students from Penn Ridge who received their Future Farmers of America, or the FFA jackets. The FFA jacket represents honor and pride and unifies a member in a long-standing tradition that reminds them that they are part of something bigger than themselves. Tonight, we'd like to congratulate Brianna Bradley, who is studying agricultural technology, Abigail James, who is studying animal and veterinary science, and Abigail Maines, who is also studying animal and veterinary science. I'd also like to take an opportunity to acknowledge both Caitlin Danka and George Dietrich, who are their teachers. So ladies, if you come forward, and Ms. Danka and Mr. Dietrich, congratulations.
Okay, I'm not used to having a microphone. So these girls, they're all freshmen and first years in the programs, and they got their FFA jacket out at Farm Show, and this is an honor. This is probably 300 to 400 students that are given these jackets by the Alumni Association as the start of their career in FFA, if you want to say that. This provides them lots of opportunities to compete in the areas that they are interested in, whether it's veterinary science, food science, livestock judging, things along those avenues, as well as honing in leadership skills and working with the community a little bit more directly. So this is a great opportunity for them to begin FFA and get it started on the right track with their first actual jacket, which is great.
Thank you so much for coming tonight. And again, girls, congratulations. Next is the Future Business Leaders. We had 76 members of the Pembridge High School Future Business Leaders of America, or FBLA, who recently competed in the 2019 Region 12 Regional Leadership Conference, or the RLC. Region 12 consists of all of Bucks County, has all private and public schools that have an FBLA chapter, and there are 17 schools that are represented. So our students were competing against the other 16 schools. Students could either take a pre-test in a subject area as an individual or as a team, which was a 100-question exam, where they could perform in front of judges live at the Leadership Conference, which was held at Del Valle University on December 18th. We had wonderful results. Pembridge FBLA has 30 students who have qualified to move on to the State Leadership Conference, which will take place in early April at the Hershey Lodge and Convention Center. I'm going to now announce all of the winners. Some of them are here this evening, and if your name's announced, if you would please stand up and come forward, I would appreciate it. And I apologize if I get your name wrong. I'm trying, I promise. So first, we had 7 students who received a first place in their category. And those winners are Cameron Hurl, Ashley Shagan, Andrew Long, Victoria Davis, William Calderon, Kishal Parekh, and Jackson Stackle. If they could come forward while we congratulate them. I've learned that the bling means first place. That's what I've learned. So the other students who also qualified for states by finishing in the top of their event are the following students: Ethan Schmann, Liam Rawling, Eric Ulmer, Zachary Yardley, Stephen Kantrowitz, Shane Kime, Elias Kim, Parker Shelton, Neha Barwaj, Anushka Bhatt, Arushi Singh, Brock Denglinger, Rachel Runta, Kendall Gustovich, Shay Rourke, Rebecca Yardley, Vince Olindo, Morgan Leo, Nicola Tabano, Wendy Lee, Carolyn Pappas, Morgan Roll, Eli Cantor, and Alex Lelly. I'd also like to thank the advisors, Mr. Leocona, Mr. Wallace, and Mr. Tater, for their help and work with the group. Let's congratulate these young men. About the program, then we'll snap some pictures. Press it below. There it is.
For starters, we have grown from 43 members last year up to 76 this year. So that's one of the largest increases ever in our program's history. We had 34 students attend the State Leadership Workshop this past November. That was at Kalahari Conference Center and Resort. The students were encouraged to unleash their inner champion, which was a 2-day theme. Eddie Slakowski gave a keynote speech on achieving dreams and goals. One of his goals was to achieve a sub 4-minute mile, which I'd be happy to do 2 laps in 4 minutes. The remainder of the conference after that keynote had leadership tracks, college preparation, and career preparation. So the students got to go through various workshops. Those 34 student members were the highest participation we've had thus far, too, in that conference. The American Heart Association this year was chosen by the PA FBLA state officers for the 2019-2020 state project. Currently, the project theme is with our hearts as one, the beat goes on, and we're currently trying to achieve a $67,000 donation statewide amongst all of our chapters. Currently, our chapter has donated $233 from our basket auction and our t-shirt sale from the State Leadership Workshop. We are currently, tomorrow night, going to be at Hawkeyes for a Dine and Donate. So we encourage everyone in the community to come out. We get 10% of the proceeds comes back to us. We're also selling Phillies tickets at face value with no surcharges attached to it. We have 7 games to choose from. I left flyers on the table there on the way out. So if you feel like grabbing, come out to Hawkeyes tomorrow night, say hello to our kids. Students will be there to greet you at the door. And we thank you for helping us out with reducing some of the costs for these conferences. Thank you.
We're not sure 2 rows here.
Wire shoulders.
All right, yes, if you can see my camera, I can see you.
I'm thrilled to announce that Seiler Elementary School has been recognized at the state level as a school of character. Over the past 5 years, the members of the Seiler Proud Committee have worked with teachers, parents, students, and community members to build a character education program that improves school climate, teaches good citizenship, and enhances academic performance. They've been working towards a program that would be worthy of the state school of character, and the State School of Character Review Team, through character.org, based out of Washington, D.C., reviewed and evaluated 197 applications from schools and districts with quality character education programs, and Seiler was one of those schools awarded. Their next step is to be reviewed as a potential National School of Character. The Proud team will be attending a future board meeting so we can congratulate them in person. Next is TSA. The 2019-20 Penridge TSA chapter competed in the Region 5 competition the second weekend of February at Quakertown. The chapter consists of 16 students who competed against 14 other regional high schools. These students qualified in 9 of the 12 events that they have competed in, and all 16 students have qualified to move on to the TSA State Championship in April. That's the second year in a row where all of our students qualified to move on to states. So please join me in congratulating the team and their advisor, Mr. Hank. Congratulations. The next picture of congratulations is for our Governor's STEM team for winning the regional round of the Governor's STEM competition. The Governor's STEM team is working on a Build-A-Drone kit that is designed to make STEM education more accessible to schools and communities that may not currently have STEM programs or opportunities. The team researched and recognizes that there are many disparities between school districts, and STEM education is one of those areas that doesn't always receive equitable access or support in every community. These students have designed an affordable kit, complete with all necessary materials, resources, and lesson plans to make STEM education more accessible throughout Pennsylvania. The team will now advance to the state level competition, which means they get more money to expand their project, and that will happen later in March. We are very Penridge proud of Anna Dent in 11th grade, Sophia Goodson, 11th grade, Morgan Leo, 11th grade, Connor Cohen, 10th grade, and Brady Schneider in 10th grade. Also very appreciative of Miss Melissa O'Brien and Dr. Deanna Dormer, their advisors. So congratulations to our STEM team. On January 29th, Drs. Claus and Swain spent the day at Penridge talking about sleep. During the day, they spoke to all of our high school students about the need for adequate sleep, the science behind sleep deprivation, and ways to implement healthy sleep habits. They discussed how a lack of sufficient sleep impacts student health, mood, immune system, and overall success in and out of the classroom. That evening, over 300 community members also had the opportunity to hear more about adolescent sleep and the science behind changing school start times. Dr. Claus and Swain reviewed the science related to not only the adverse consequences of adolescent sleep deprivation, but also the rationale behind the movement to change school start times. At the end of the presentation, community members had the opportunity to ask questions regarding these topics. The presentations and all additional information, including the committee meetings and all of their resources, is available on the district website. As well, there is an email, sleep and school start time at penridge.org, where people can submit questions that they have. Next is the district celebration of African American History Month. Students across Penridge School District have participated in lessons, projects, and activities about the lives of influential African Americans. Pictured here are students in Mrs. Landis' class who researched the life of an influential African American and created shadow puppets to share with each other on Seesaw. Also, you can see students in Miss Delaney's class who did research on African Americans who have made a difference, either in their community or across the country. They summarized their research and displayed what they learned on a bulletin board for all their peers to see. Next is a picture of the Central Middle School students and staffs, where they had a great time at a faculty basketball game organized by the Student Council. This fundraiser, which raised over $300 for Socks for Soldiers, was attended by more than 100 students who got to watch their teachers, their principals, and even their superintendent play a friendly, if not unorganized, uncoordinated game of basketball. It was a ton of fun. Last is the Bedminster visit from the Philly Fanatic. Before he changed his look, apparently. I read that today. The Bedminster Bobcats are fanatic about reading. Last week, the Philly Fanatics stopped by Bedminster Elementary School to celebrate, catch this, their 621,196 minutes of student reading at home or on their own time. That's over 500,000 minutes of reading the students have logged. It was a fun afternoon full of dancing, singing, storytelling, and then more dancing. And as you can see from the picture, even the Bobcat got involved. Thank you to the Philadelphia Phillies and the Fanatic for celebrating our student hard work. Hashtag Fanatic about reading. And that is the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Goldman. It's quite a lot of achievement for our students. Thank you. Great stuff going on. Student liaison report, Mr. Courtney.
In the next coming weeks, we have lots of stuff going on here at the high school. We have Staff Appreciation Week, which is going on in the next few weeks. That will highlight all the stuff that our teachers and staff that bring to each and every one of us every day. They make a huge difference on our lives. There's going to be posters around the school just showing our love to each of our teachers. And then in April, we have a talent show coming up the day before Easter break. It's going to be a great time. We're going to see all the talent that each of our students bring here. And in the middle of March, from March 16th to March 20th, we will be having Inclusion Week, where we will be having Spirit Days to show all the inclusion that we bring here at the high school. We will also be selling t-shirts to our students to show the inclusion that we bring here at the high school. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the consent calendar. I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar, items listed as A through H. Do I have a second? Seconded by Mr. Rice. Any questions, board members? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Vote passes 9-0. Moving on to the committee reports. First up is curriculum, Mrs. Cullen.
Thank you. We have a few motions this evening. The first one is a motion to approve the following curriculum proposal, an intro to computer programming honors level.
I'm sorry. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mrs. Thompson. Dr. Thompson. Sorry. Questions and concerns by board members? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Vote passes 9-0.
Thank you. And we do have the motion to approve the Pembridge School District Policy Number 209 for health examinations and screenings.
Motion made by Mrs. Cohen, seconded by Mr. Rice. Okay, concerns or questions, board members? None? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Vote passes 9-0.
And the last motion is to approve an 11th grade student to attend the STEM Ecosystems Community of Practice convening in San Antonio, Texas on March 2nd through 4th, 2020.
Seconded by Mrs. Walters. Okay, concerns or questions, board members?
I just wanted to explain that it's actually a great opportunity for our students. The STEM governors group that Dr. Bolton talked about earlier, one of our students was selected to go to this national conference. So we're very proud of her. Oh, and no cost to the district.
You may make the connection between the chief science officers. If you remember the beginning of the year, Dr. Dormer had begun a program with a set of students who were chief science officers. And we had two students who are leadership within the state. This is one of those two who was recognized through her work at the state to have this national opportunity in San Antonio. So it was a really wonderful opportunity. She's a great guy.
Do I have a second? Mrs. Walters, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, vote passes 9-0.
Okay, and our next curriculum committee meeting is scheduled for Monday, March 2nd.
Okay, moving on to facilities, I see my friends from Reynolds are here. If you'd like to come up and open the presentation. Here, all right.
Am I on? Good evening, President Krause, Dr. Bolton, and the rest of the school board, and the Penridge community. Thank you for the introduction. We are Reynolds SiteLogic, and we're here tonight to present the 2020 scopes of work, summer scopes of work. The scopes of work that we are presenting tonight have been presented to the Facilities Committee since November. These scopes of work were identified early on in our facilities process as the priority infrastructure projects to pursue this summer based on need. These projects were developed also in parallel to the long-term facility maintenance plan that we are finalizing right now for the district that will start to kick in for the 2021 budget year. The projects that you're seeing tonight in the 2020 summer, just to summarize, are at Grouse Elementary School, Penn South Middle School, the Penn Central Middle School, the high school and district administration office, this building, and the district support center, as well as Diamond. You can't see that up there, but I think you can see it on your screen. The total for the scopes of work tonight that we're presenting, the total contract value is roughly $1,839,990. Want to keep in mind too, in the bottom right-hand column for the first time, you are seeing the guarantee for resource and operational savings annually. And then again, that bottom number of $23,000 for annual resource savings and the $12,638 for the operational savings are guaranteed as part of the Guaranteed Energy Savings Agreement contract form that we're proposing to complete this work under. Additionally, I do want to point out that this contract value does include the engineering, design, cost for development, as well as the construction management oversight that will occur during project implementation. Again, this contract as well is not eligible for change orders, so we cannot submit change orders to the school district for these scopes of work. So the contract price tonight is the final contract price for these scopes of work should you elect to proceed with them this summer. We're keeping it pretty simple. I might add, if you recall from the February 10th meeting, we were considering two alternates. One was a magnetic bearing chiller. It was an option for the air-cooled chiller, and then the other one was automatic valves at the pool. Neither were considered to be best value, considering life cycle costs when we reviewed them on Friday with the district and administration, so we are not presenting those alternates tonight.
Questions from the board?
Can you talk about the auditorium AHU replacement?
Specifically, what?
So I thought that was what we were talking about, kind of lumping together with the other schools at the same time? Or is that?
At Central?
Yeah.
No. I don't recall that we were considering that.
Can you give an overview of the scope of the work?
Yeah.
happening at
Jeff, you want to give an overview of the Central?
Yeah.
Jeff was our development engineer, so I'll let him review the scope of work.
Good evening. There's two air handlers that sit up in the mezzanine in the auditorium, and they're both problem children from a maintenance standpoint and operational standpoint. So we're going to remove a large louver that feeds outside air these units, pull the old units out, put new units in sections, and build them back up, and basically just reconnect them to ductwork and piping, and put new controls on them. It's a complete rehab.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board while Garrett's here? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Garrett. Okay. I'd like to make a motion to award Reynolds Energy Services SiteLogic GIZA contract for the current 2020 summer projects pending solicitor review. All right. Seconded by Dr. Thompson. Questions from board members? Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Okay. Vote passes 9-0.
Before you move on, I just want to thank Mr. Lewis, and there are three other of his colleagues here, from Reynolds Logic. I'm not quite sure what to call you, so we're going to go back and forth for a little while, right? So we get there. So this is our first time through a summer with them as a new engineering firm, and I just want to appreciate them publicly for the amount of time, the number of trips they've been in, the number of meetings that we've been a part of, as we've talked about a whole slew of items, some of which that we're seeing here tonight. So we're looking forward to the summer work, and we just appreciate you all being here and your work for the district. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Approval of obsolete items. Make a motion to approve obsolete items listed as A through C. Seconded by Mr. Rice. Questions from board members? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, vote passes 9-0. The last is a motion to approve the first reading on the following policies. Policy 805, Emergency Preparedness and Response, and Policy 805.1, Relations with Law Enforcement Agencies. Seconded by Mrs. Dolan. Questions from board members? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. The next Facilities Committee meeting is scheduled for Monday, March 9th. Finance Committee, Mrs. Venus Clemens.
Thank you, Mr. Kraus. First, I'll make a motion for the approval of the agreement between the Pembridge School District and the Pembridge Educational Support Professionals Association.
Motion made by Mrs. Venus Clemens, seconded by Mrs. Dolan. Okay. Before I take questions from other board members, I'd just like to make a comment. This tentative agreement is a product of many long hours of hard work and perseverance by the negotiating teams. I believe it's fair and equitable to all stakeholders. While there were many complexities overcome during the negotiations, including bringing together multiple agreements with individual segments of the support professionals, providing consistent language among different job titles into one contract. I would like to thank Mrs. Lewis and the negotiating team from PESBA, as well as Mrs. Venus Clemens for leading the team on behalf of the board, bringing this agreement to us tonight. Mrs. Venus Clemens, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Kraus. So as you know, a 5-year tentative agreement has been reached with the Pembridge Educational Support Professionals Association. The union ratified it yesterday afternoon, and we will be voting on it this evening. These are the people greeting our kids in the morning, driving them safely to school, and getting them home even when the